out there. Welcome to the Addicted Fishing Podcast. We're back in another week, and we're still remaining consistent with it, Cameron.
We're doing it. Like I said, no numbers, of course, as always, but we're definitely we're staying true to form and actually putting these things out. And as long as Clint over there, Mr. Producer Clint, is editing them on time, there shouldn't be any 4-week gaps.
No, it hasn't been anything bigger in 2 weeks, so it's been good.
Good.
And
Good job, you guys.
It's usually weekly, so
So
yeah, George's
job,
back in here
Clint.
with us. And we have someone else in here. You want to introduce yourself, man?
Yeah, my name is Charles Lowes, and I'm here to talk about catching tuna from a rowboat and teaching you guys how to transition from the ocean, or from the river to the ocean.
From the river to the ocean, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so all you guys out there watching, if you're on YouTube, thanks so much for tuning into these podcasts. We appreciate you guys watching them on YouTube. Do not forget, tap that little subscribe button. We're putting out videos almost every single day, so turn on that bell notification and stay with us on this awesome journey that we're on. And so you shot me an email and you said, hey, I got a couple cool podcast topics I think you guys would enjoy, your viewers would enjoy.
Right.
And so I hit him up, and so let's just freaking jump right into it. I think because I want to talk about the most about this rowboat thing.
Yeah.
So if you guys are out there watching, he decided he was going to take a rowboat and he was going to row out into the ocean and catch a tuna.
Correct.
So talk about that a little bit.
Huh? Everyone just went, what?
Exactly. So why? What was the idea? Just kind of roll through the story.
It started over beer, like a lot of good ideas do.
Perfect.
I would have thought it'd be no other way.
Yeah. So, are you familiar with the Fisher Poets Gathering in Astoria?
I've heard of it, yes.
Yeah, okay. So I'm up there with my buddies at the Wet Dog Cafe, and we're listening to the commercial fishermen do their thing, their sea stories and all that. And I had this idea, it just hatched in my mind, and my buddies are sitting around, and I just kind of floated it. And they said, heck yeah, you got to do that. You got to do that. You got to row for tuna. You got to do that now. You're not getting any younger, just do it. So that was kind of the genesis of the thing. Took a couple years to get it going because there was a lot of training involved and whatnot. But basically what I did is about 7 weeks ago, got in my little 14-foot rowboat, which weighs all of 90 pounds, pushed off through the surf of Pacific City. Was hoping to get tuna at 12 miles. Didn't work that way. They were at 20 miles. So rode 20 miles out, caught 4 tuna, 45 pounds of tuna in a 90-pound boat. Not enough daylight to row back, so I threw the boat on one of my escort boats, strapped it down, rowed back home. So that's kind of the story.
That's freaking insane. So talk about what led up to it. Like what the training, like what are you talking about training you had to do and stuff?
I built this little boat for springers, and it's not your grandfather's rowboat, okay? I mean, it's computer designed. All the panels were cut by CNC. It's epoxy, Okuma plywood. It's fast, it's slippery, it just rows like a dream. I live 3 miles from Selwood, so what's not to like. Didn't catch any springers in the darn thing for a couple of seasons. I'm a really mediocre river guy, okay? I'm a good saltwater guy. But
You're better getting to and fro.
Yeah. But, just rowing that thing around, it's like this idea wouldn't let me go, because I started rowing 10 miles, 15 miles, 20 miles just for fun. And it was like this idea just pinging in my head. Could you row this thing out for tuna? How cool would that be? How crazy
Now,
is
had you
that?
fished for tuna before?
Oh, yeah.
You've done a bunch?
I'm a PC doryman, so I got a
Okay.
22-foot learned dory. And
Gotcha.
I've done a lot of tuna fishing. I've done a lot of tuna fishing. So,
Wonderful.
yeah, it's just an idea that kind of chased me down. And then I went to the Wet Dog Cafe and floated it. And at that point, I probably logged 30-mile trips. And I knew I needed to be able to go 60. And so, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I could, especially, me and Cam run oars a lot throughout the year, and it's immediately a challenge like that kind of perks my enthusiasm or my interest. It's, can I do it? It's like running a big rapid. Sure, let's find out. You ran the biggest rapid of all.
That's a poke.
I mean, you asked me, why did I do it? There's no logic to something like that.
Yeah.
It's just something that wells up inside you.
Well, they
So
were
was
doing
there
it 100, 200 years ago. People were doing that all the time.
That's the way it was done, right?
If they weren't sailing, they were rowing boats around like that. That's how they fished the Columbia River.
Exactly.
That's freaking insane. So was there any sort of records set? There has to be.
I mean, where would you go for that? I mean, no.
The Guinness Book of World Records.
No, I.
Yeah, because I would have to think that I mean, comment below if you guys say to the contrary, but I don't know anyone that's done that. Have you heard of anyone that's done that?
I honestly think, especially after the podcast and the live feed, you'll start a craze. This will like spark.
Hey, I am all over that.
Small little community of people who like see what they can catch.
So now we're going to have to put the disclaimer in here that if you don't know what you're doing,
you
don't go out there and try to row for tuna next year, please.
People are going to start setting these little challenges.
Jordan
like that.
already was thinking.
Yeah.
So I need one of you guys for a 2-man boat. We can go twice as faster and farther. So we could,
There you go.
So
see you, Jordan.
catch me.
We need the third guy in there though. We need Sean in there.
Yeah. Okay.
To get all the real drama.
I'll just follow you in my boat.
All you drift boat guys.
Yeah.
So I don't want anybody to think that this was dangerous, all right? There was no way this is dangerous. It was an adventure. It was fun, but it was not dangerous. I had 2 escort boats, very good friends in their 22-foot dories, had eyes on me the whole way. I practiced with these guys in the Columbia River over the winter, practiced hauling my little boat onto their boat and strapping it down, because if the weather goes bad, that was going to be the fix. Practice jumping in the water and climbing on their boats. So there was nobody at risk here. It was just good fun.
You were really prepared.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, I like life. I don't want to go out there and die. I mean, that's just
that's one thing, I don't really like going in the ocean. I'm not a huge fan of it.
Well, we can fix that.
I'm not a huge fan of it, but here, I do like going if I can go with someone that I feel knows what they're doing. Because to me, that's like everything. Like, there's just too many guys that go out there and they think like, oh, I'm going to just go in the ocean. And, so that's where I've kind of been scared, because I had some of those experiences where I got in these boats with these dudes that said they had been in the ocean and they didn't have much experience, and then when you get in with a guy, say Cam, for example, you get in with a guy like that who does have experience, you can tell right out the gate. Like, you can just tell by everything they're doing, what they're talking about, what they're watching. And I think that's a good transition to talk about what you do now, which is this ocean coach venture.
Yeah, so I mean, your story is so typical. Guys, they're fishing the rivers, they're looking to the ocean, they're seeing, they're hearing about the lingcod and the million coho run and the tuna and all that.
Oh, sorry.
Well, okay. that was the projection, right? Okay. And what I do is I take a guy like that and give them usually about 6 one-on-one coaching sessions. It's not a class, it's not a seminar, it's not a webinar. I sit down with you and we talk for an hour. And I figure out, what's your background? What do you know and what do you not know about boats in the ocean? What are your goals? What do you want to do? Do you want to just fish bottom? Who do you want to take with you? Who's worried about you when you're out fishing? You got a wife or somebody that's worried about you? What we can do for them. So, and then I'll create a curriculum and we'll just go through it. My guys become masters of the tide table. I have them go through a whole year of tide charts and pick out the biggest span and the lowest span and calculate how fast that water's moving. If there's a big full moon out, I'll call them up and say, go look at the moon. Then go look at your tide table and tell me what you learned. So, it's really bottoms up. Crossing the bar is probably the biggest thing that people are worried about. And that's what we go through in quite a bit of detail.
It's funny because, with people wanting to venture out there, you always get the guys that have gone out there and dabbled in it a little bit, and then there'll be that one time they're going to get scared. Because they're gonna miscalculate, or they're gonna maybe go with one of these guides or charter operations that are used to fish in rougher water, or maybe it's a little too rough that day. And like I said, there's always that. It seems like when every angler that's gone to the ocean, there's always that get them scared moment and set them straight, like show them that you're not invincible out there. You're not. It is susceptible to a pucker factor, and like I said, and I almost think that's like literally the best situation, because in some instances these newer anglers will like just charge out there, and then they get like a little bit too like complacent or a little like too comfortable, and then they go out there on the wrong day, and that 2-foot groundswell on the bar turns into an 8-foot steep head chop while they're on it.
I had a client just like that. Father-son team. They bought a boat, their first boat ever. Went out on the ocean a few times and scared themselves. They got in some bad stuff. So they came to me, and it took me a long time to convince them that if they ever face a rough bar, they've made a mistake. Shouldn't happen. Should not happen.
Completely agree with that.
And after 6 sessions, they went out, they caught fish. They were just animals all summer long. They just went out and had a ball. So it was a total transformation from, oops, I'm scared, to, okay, I can do this. I can build up the...
Yeah, it's just such a set of variables, because some bars, with big tide swings and whatnot, like, you understand that the bars, okay, there's the capability, or there's the chance that it could be rough, but it depends on your power of the ocean, depends on your wind direction as well too, depends on your tide exchange, but depends on like what's going on out there. It's just like I always say that everything out there is just kind of amplified on the bar, and it's amplified by tide and wind direction too. Obviously, if you get those rare situations, we get east winds and whatnot, but there's just like this just giant set of variables. And just because the ocean one day someone looked at the forecast and went, oh, it's 2 foot and 3 foot, and they go out, and then they go out again on a 2 foot and 3 foot. Well, then they go on a 2 foot, 3 foot, but let's just say you got a little bit of a northwest, and they an ebb tide at 11 o'clock in the morning, and when they want to come back, and it just all of a sudden that 2 and 3 foot ain't 2 and 3 foot anymore. And like I said, it gets people a little bit, catches people off guard. And as much as I want to say, like, we always kind of preach within addicts is time on the water gets you that experience, time on the water gets you to know that. But there could be like the one time when you're messing with the ocean that that it's gonna get you, and it gets people every year.
It does. And so, yeah, the interaction of tide, swell direction, swell period, wind direction, tidal span, how do you put that all together? And there is a way to put it together, it just takes a little time. And actually, toward the end of the sessions, the last couple of sessions, I developed a dice game where I've got like a D12 and a D16. I'll roll you a swell height, and I'll roll you a period, and I'll roll you a wind direction and a wind speed, and you tell me whether it's go, no go. And we'll just do that again and again and again and again and talk through that. And that kind of cements everything for these guys.
Yeah, I mean, and even like having, like you said, some of these bigger swells like that are maybe happening in the morning, but if your tide's going to change and anticipating an afternoon wind, and understanding that, okay, well, if I go out a little later in the day and I don't want to ever have to fight darkness, and just those situations too. It's like, so it's not just when and if bad bars and when and if bad oceans will occur, but it's like when, like during the day, and like when you're going to start your outings. And like you said, there's just so many variables to it, but which is why I honestly think, like within fishing addicts and stuff, we get that question, I swear, when we start posting June
ocean stuff. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's just incessant how many people are, what is was this a good day to cross the bar? And usually what'll happen there, if I know the guy, and it's like, okay, first off, you always try to tell people like the buddy boat situation, and make sure that the buddy boat, like you said, is somebody who actually know, like you said, Marlon, somebody actually knows what he's doing, and you've got to be indoctrinated into this stuff, or you've got to be trained up, or else it's going to get you.
Yep.
But I notice even some of the more profound guides on the Columbia River, I noticed, especially this year, when getting to go with you a few times, aren't out there. There's a lot of guides in the Northwest that you can tell aren't comfortable with it even. It's a very small, select group of people that are out trolling circles out there. That's what I noticed every time I went with you was, it's something that even some of the most skilled boat runners and anglers still don't go do. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's, your equipment, is important, and these guys that think, you're going to go out there and, just beat anything out there in the ocean in a 35-footer and stuff like that. And it's like, well, you got to understand the capabilities of your boat. But I always kind of draw the line. It's like, well, just because you have a big boat doesn't mean it's going to be fun.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
You're speaking my language, because whether it's a 19-footer or a 26-footer, once the wind reaches 12 knots, 12, 15 knots, nobody's having fun.
Right, I don't care how big the boat is.
So, I mean, if I'm going to go out with somebody, I need to know, I want to know the skipper. Mm-hmm. I want to know, is his boat well maintained? Is it not overloaded? That's what I care about. I don't care if it's a Hughes or a North River or aluminum or glass, whatever,
The other thing is, the other question we see is, I have a 21-foot insert boat style here. Can I go across the bar? And it's like
that is the most asked question there is.
And it's like, yes, you can.
It's like, should I marry this woman?
30% of the days you probably can, and on those 30% of the days, there's 6 and 7 hour windows that you probably should, and probably shouldn't.
Well, I have a checklist, and the checklist is your hand. And these are the 5 things you got to consider before you go fishing on the ocean. The first is the bar crossing outbound in the morning. The second is the bar crossing inbound 8 hours later. Everything's going to be different, the wind, the swell, the tide. 2 different things.
Yep.
The next thing is the sea conditions outside, wind and swell. The next 2 are a little harder to guess. Anybody got some guesses?
Cameron?
I'd have to say, you didn't say anything like with the exchange rates.
I was going to say height.
Like,
okay, that's kind of big
in there.
Okay.
I mean, I would say weather changes. Like because there's days like I always look for trending weather.
Absolutely.
Trending weather that these guys that like to go window hunting out there.
Oh, the sucker window.
Yeah, the sucker. Oh, yeah, that forecast looked good for like 6 hours in the morning. I think we could sneak out and get it. Oh, you're getting ready to get your butt to. But that's 4.
So that's 4.
And
looking at
number
the trend,
5.
Looking at the trend is really, really important because that swell might arrive 3 hours earlier than forecast, or
it's a forecast.
Right.
Ask about the million fish thing. You want to discuss forecasts and how forecasts.
Ask about any forecast that DFW has put out in the last 2 years.
Well, and we have red blood in our veins, right? Yeah. The fishing's good.
Oh yeah.
You were going to be back by 5, but no, it's so good. You're going to stay out later, and now so you got that.
And that probably brings it number 5, and it's probably what do you do in an emergency or a motor breakdown?
Exactly. So the last one is fog. Nobody ever thinks of that.
Oh, fog. Okay,
right?
So I guess it'd be 6 though. Motor braking now. Like, how far do you have to come in on your kicker if you lose your mains?
Yeah.
Of course, you got the Coast Guard for that, but don't rely on them.
Yeah. So anyway, those are 5 things: bar in, bar out, sea conditions outside, weather trend. I'm glad you flagged that in the fog. And if you look at all those 5, you won't miss anything. Yeah. Forecast may change. You may have a bad judgment or whatever, but.
Yeah, no.
So it's a handy checklist.
No, those trends, man. I tell you what. Yeah, because like I said, you can see, for the guys that aren't familiar with the ocean forecasts, and you'll see like the, 10 to 60 nautical mile out things. They'll call for those, oh yeah, it's going to be 2 and 2, but then that afternoon it'll go to 3 and 4 and. 3 and 4 starts getting pretty sloppy if it's at 6 and 7 seconds, and if you're out there far.
Send these guys my way. It's
crazy.
TheOceanCoach.com. It's really easy.
Yeah.
Ocean Coach.
TheOceanCoach.com.
Yep. So typically, how many sessions does a person need to where you feel like they're ready to?
Okay, so most guys want to know it's about 80% safety in getting across the bar, but they also want to know something about coho fishing or. Lingcod or whatever. So with an 80-20 split like that, usually 6 sessions. Sometimes I get a captain who has been fishing inshore, but they want to do the tuna thing. I can usually do that in 3 or 4 sessions. I had one client who just bought a beach house in Cannon Beach. He wanted to find some kind of vessel so he could surf launch and go out and catch rockfish and lingcod. Well, that was a little more involved because is it a jet ski? Is it a kayak? Is it a dory? How do you want to do this thing? So it varies. It's very individual.
Cool. And what does it typically cost? Because that's going to be the first thing that any one of these guys listening asks.
And it's $900 for 6 sessions.
$900 for 6 sessions.
And that includes 6 one-on-one sessions face-to-face. That includes unlimited text, email, and phone support. And that includes a lot of homework. These guys are going to have to work for it. So. The way I look at it, if you got $60,000 into a boat, pay me $1,000 so that you can actually enjoy your season, jumpstart your season. You get 2 or 3 years worth of knowledge. Get you out there.
Is there anyone doing that for where's the river coach?
That's a good question. I mean, honestly, within my guide business, I wouldn't say it's probably more than 20 to 25% of the guys that go out with me on the ocean, but they're going to learn. Like, they're going out there to experience it, to see if it's something that they can get into, something that, shoot, some of these guys, I take a lot of guys every year that have never been out there before.
Yeah.
And they
fall in love.
They go out there
Right.
and they get an 80 coho bite and then they're in. But
Right.
obviously when you're, even within the act of guiding, like, we could talk about it while we're out there fishing and you could talk about it, but I could see the value in sitting down there with the workbooks and sitting down there with the tie tables, actually sitting the guy down, over coffee and being like, and working through those processes.
Exactly.
Because it's real easy to go out there because, obviously if it's a day, and don't get me wrong, like I don't fish I'll still fish, a little more challenging day if you have the right clients and the right crowd and the right right conditions. But for the most part, 80% of those days are like the days where you go out there and you take these people out there and it's just cake. We crossed the bar at the right time.
Right.
We went the right direction. Like we knew we were either anticipating a northwest wind or a south wind, and we definitely made the judgment call on where to fish based on what those winds could develop while we're out there.
Right.
And then they came back and they caught a bunch of fish, and it's like, oh, this is easy. And then they go out in their boat and get scared.
Well, I have a strict confidentiality clause in my agreement, and it works two ways. One, I don't want my clients taking all the stuff I've done, all the graphs and charts and everything, and just giving them away. But more importantly, I don't disclose my coaching relationship with anybody. And that's because if a guide or somebody wants to learn this on the down low, I'll do that. And they'll never hear it from me. So I'd be happy to, coach some guides and get them up to speed.
Yeah, you wouldn't put them out there on blast because let's be honest. It's fishing, and fishing is for the most part a weenie wagon sport.
Well, but
what does that mean?
Just like macho man sport. That's what I mean. So why would some guy want to get advice from you?
This is a pristine secret. There's no question
Interesting.
about
Well, and
that.
dude, that's what we do as anglers is learn and keep trying to learn and learn and learn.
Yeah,
So
but I
it's
can understand exactly.
No,
Come on.
confidentiality is super important.
For some, like.
And the other thing is the guide sled is not a great ocean boat. No. You got that cutout transom that scares me to death. But I have had clients with sleds, and I just say, look, you're going to get out there some days, but we're going to talk about some pretty severe limitations on your particular boat design that the other boat designs don't have. And guys are okay with that.
You run a sled, right, Cam?
Yeah, and what he's referring to is like just the difference between like the way they only can mount outboard motors on the back transoms. Most designs will either, if they even have higher sides, they still have a cut down transom.
Right.
Where then you start getting into something like where you have offshore bracketed boats that can have the higher transoms. And they come with their own, they come with their own set of challenges as well. But they definitely seem to be a little more like watertight just from transom height.
Yeah.
So,
because if you chop the throttle in the following sea, you could get green water coming aboard on the sled.
There was a couple times to get some splashiness going, especially fishing or tight rip line out there and stuff like that. But it's not. But like you said, you know your limitations boat. You know what you could be getting yourself into.
Exactly.
You know the trend.
But it's fun out there, huh?
Oh, it is.
Right?
No, I bought
insane. Sometimes it's
crazy.
just chaos out there.
And like I said, the sled. So I ran a TUNA reseller boat for a long time back in college out of Garibaldi, but then, I had a 25-foot Super V for like the last 7-8 years. I actually just kind of stepped it up to something that can go a little more rough. I just stepped up to a Columbia, and it's not the quintessential ocean boat, but it's also not a boat that you can't take out the ocean and then slam a jet on and go through 4 inches of water, out in the rivers as well.
Yeah. I kind of draw the line at jets in the ocean, though. I'm not...
No, we switched to props to the ocean. You want that power. No, there's no question. No, I would never take the jet out there. But
I'll tell you, one thing that I find is so much fun. I caught a lot of fish, but in my life. But if I'm out there fishing and one of my clients is fishing on his boat and he's 5 miles away, and we're on the phone or we're on the radio and he's killing them, that is so much more fun than me putting fish on the boat. That's just the best. Getting somebody into fish and getting them excited. It's the same with the guide thing, right?
I was just going to say,
getting
people excited.
Well, the thing about the guide thing is if your clients are out there getting them just like you were, it usually is a little more bittersweet than
Oh no! Like,
Oh, really?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
how did the other boat get
down
him
your
versus
next favorite hole, just killing them.
No, my clients are.
No, but for you, it's how rewarding.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
heroes.
You're a
How
teacher.
incredible.
They're all heroes, and they work so hard on their homework because they're paying for it, and that's part of the deal. I want your commitment on this because you're going to be studying, and I just want them for 6 weeks, and then they're off and running, living their life and having the adventures.
That's freaking sweet. That's really sweet. So when are you going out for tuna again?
It's November, man.
I was gonna say mid-July.
Well, I meant-
Mid-July next year.
I
Well,
meant-
okay, I'll give you an answer.
Do you plan on doing the rowboat thing again, or was that kind of a one and done kind of thing? Or-
I don't know. I was only 7 weeks ago. I don't know. I don't know.
He's
Are you guys
over
going
it
to
now.
join me? We'll go do a,
Yeah, we'll
a
do
two-man
two-man
boat.
Jordan's already
Wow.
thinking about it. Look at him.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that addicted life?
That's what I'm saying. That would be really good.
that
But it'd be even better if there was no support.
And
bus,
Sean could
but
be
we had
equipped-
a
Well, here's the
GPS.
thing.
Sean
And,
can be
like,
equipped with
made
like
it
50
more like,
drone
you know,
batteries, and we
Survivor.
just drone the whole thing.
Well, GPS. Okay, so my little rowboat has 2 handheld VHFs, 2 GPS units. One is monitoring my body with a heart monitor, Bluetooth to the thing. It's got a fish finder. I've got a PLB in my pocket. I got a compass. I mean, it's got more electronics than most boats had 20 years ago. And all the stuff is so cheap now. It's just totally
Yeah.
easy to deck them out.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
I think you could do it.
I think you're right.
Here's an opportunity. Somebody do it on a kayak. Where's the Tupperware fleet?
Right.
Yeah, right.
that.
Well, that would almost be. You'd be a lot faster. Obviously, you'd probably move twice the speed at least.
I don't think so.
With a sea kayak.
I do
Over
3.5
a rowboat?
miles an hour. Or stand-up paddleboard if you really want to get caught.
Oh my god.
So how did you catch him though, real quick? So I mean, did you go out there throw iron at him or live traps, or did you just try to troll him, or?
Just trolling swim
Just troll,
baits.
okay.
But trolling 2 swim baits slows me down 0.5 mile an hour. Just a drag.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
curious
sweet.
if you
What-
went out casted iron at a jumper or something.
Oh, I had iron.
Yeah.
And after I landed a fish, I threw it around a little bit. But
Right.
it was kind of a slow pick day.
Sure.
So 7 hours rowing out and then 3 hours rowing around to catch 4 fish.
Your arms had to just be jello.
They're not though.
They weren't at all.
No. It really took a while to develop the long-range rowing technique. It was pain management, and what I mean by that is my underarms would chafe until I figured out that you get a compression shirt from Under Armour. Solved that. I'd get blisters. I went through 10 different kinds of gloves before I settled on these deerskin driving gloves. And then the worst is butt pain. Oh my God, it's just, I've tried 10 different cushions, 15 different cushions, and finally get that dialed in. But once you get that dialed in, the aerobic effort, if you stay below your aerobic max, it's not that bad.
Just a slow burn.
Yep. I managed to a heart rate about 120, and you really can do it all day. But you got to train. Okay, I spent a lot of time
of
on.
course. Yeah.
I mean, my longest training row was Scappoose to Oregon City and back. That's 62 miles. So,
Oh, damn.
Unbelievable.
and part of that's in the dark. So,
Right.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Well, I think we need to challenge Jordan right now. Addicts,
Why is Jordan
comment
getting
below because he's
He's rower incarnate. Like he is Mr.
This? Oh, really? Let
Rower.
me see your hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See that right there?
Yeah.
That's a scar, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Is that a hook?
Nope. Fence.
Oh, okay. You need a better story, bar
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bar fight.
barf.
Yeah. I was running from the cops. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Naturally.
There you go.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up. What are you doing the next couple weeks? You gonna be fishing? You gonna
I'll be fishing.
That's right.
Just playing around, waiting for rain. We're supposed to get that rain this week. Oh, of course, I always do that. We're not live feeding, we're podcasting. So by the time you guys read this, hopefully there's a ton of rain that has fallen and the rivers have reopened because
And
there was a
every
big
guy in the
closures.
Northwest is not so crabby.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that too. That too,
Or
for
if you
sure.
want to fish the ocean coach got, can't even say it, theoceancoach.com.
The Ocean Coach.
The Ocean
Okay, I want to make
Coach.
sure people got that.
Look me up and we'll get you out on the ocean, which is open all year.
That's right. And man, seeing like Mikey and some of these guys posting
I
the
know,
win,
Grant
caught
Roulette's
Grant
been
Roulette.
freaking,
Oh my
man.
gosh, these guys are getting them right now. They're just having a ball.
Oh.
Crabs too.
Lingcod, yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
awesome, man.
Yeah, lingcod and crab. Alrighty, well, cool. Yep, guys, make sure you guys check it out, theoceancoach.com. We're also going to have them on our live feed right now, so make sure you guys go back. If you didn't know, these people can go back and watch our live feeds if you want, especially on YouTube. We post them on YouTube every single Wednesday, so they are posted after the fact if you guys want to go back and watch any of the live feeds that you may have missed. Thanks so much for tuning in. What?
So don't forget to subscribe.
And don't forget to subscribe. Good job, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys on the river.
Later, guys.